Yo, what's up everybody? How's it going? Today we're gonna play the new hero that was just introduced in Dota 2. Also, I'm bringing you cats. 2 for once, which is rare, which means good luck. So, let's get into this game. Now, this is a private lobby because getting the hero picked in a public game is a little difficult, so we went with a private lobby here. What does this hero do? DAWNBREAKER. This is what she looks like. I quite like her. Honestly, I think she looks cool. I'm glad that they added another female character, which is always great. And all around, just kind of a neat looking hero. Obviously, a lot of inspiration from 4. And you will see that not only in her visual design, but also in her abilities. She's a strength melee hero. Got pretty good attack damage, pretty good movement speed. Like all of that is super solid. And she's got some fun abilities. So let's go through it. Her first ability, Starbreaker. DAWNBREAKER whirls her hammer around 3 times, damaging enemies with her attack plus bonus damage. On the final strike, she smashes her hammer down, stunning and damaging enemies in front of her. This ability has her kind of twirling the hammer twice and then smashing it down in front of her. It's really your main thing you're going to be using. This ability is very, very good. It is super, super powerful. This is your main tool for team fights, for pretty much anything. Laning, solo kills. Yeah, look, this is what we're going to be spamming here. What's important about this ability is that it deals damage based on your attack damage. It's just an additional attack, which means we can get Desolator, we can just build up attack damage and then be able to deal damage with it, which is really convenient because she is a strength hero. And strength heroes, they have lots of ways to just kind of casually build up damage and hit pretty hard. Then, Celestial Hammer. DAWNBREAKER hurls her weapon at the target, damaging enemies struck along the way. The hammer pauses for 2 seconds at the destination before flying back to her, leaving a trail of fire that slows enemies. DAWNBREAKER can recoil the hammer at any time, pulling her towards it so they meet in the middle. The important thing about this ability is that it has a lot of range. It doesn't really do a lot of damage. The slow isn't really that good. The AoE is kind of tiny. Honestly, not the best ability. What this is usually used for is to kind of get a little burst of movement speed. You want to close a distance of 300, 400 units. That's where Celestial Hammer can be nice. Outside of that, it's honestly not that great. But yeah, it can become a bit better later on in the game when you get the level 25 talent and it gets a ton of range. But, of course, that's pretty damn late in the game. Luminosity. After 3 attacks, DAWNBREAKER powers up, charging her next attack with a critical hit that heals all allied heroes within 650 units around her for a portion of attack damage dealt. Creeps and neutral enemies provide less healing. Allies are healed for 35% of the amount. The way this ability works is very similar to Slaughter's Bash of the Deep. So we attack once, attack twice, attack 3 times, and then the next hit will get this bonus damage, right? It'll be a critical hit, and then it will also heal us and our allies. Now, the healing on the allies isn't that great. It's a little bit, so we'll take it. But it's mostly used to heal us. The critical strike is also incredibly useful because Luminosity triggers after 4 attacks. You may notice Starbreaker gives you 3 attacks. You can tell that there's a bit of synergy there. And that's definitely something that matters a lot. You can get a lot of value out of critting with Starbreaker. Solar Guardian. DAWNBREAKER creates a pulsing effect at a location within 350 units of an allied hero anywhere on the map, damaging enemies and healing allies with each pulse. After a short duration, she flies to the target location, dealing additional damage and stunning enemies upon landing. Once channeled, DAWNBREAKER cannot stop the ability. So this is Force Hammer, coming down from the heavens. It basically allows you to TP to an ally. It looks very similar to a TP, it behaves very similar to a TP. But it has some additional benefits, like it provides a bit of damage, a bit of healing, and then also the big thing really is just the repositioning of your hero as well as the stun. It's actually got a fairly large AoE, especially once you hit the level 25 talent again. But also level 15 is really nice because it reduces the cooldown fairly drastically. And then you actually tend to have access to it pretty much all the time. This ability is insane. So with DAWNBREAKER, these two are going to be your main tools for fighting. This thing isn't that useful. And Solar Guardian is the reason why you would want to pick the hero. right? I guess I'm mid. I guess I'm mid. I wouldn't recommend this here on the mid, but I guess we are mid. Let me grab an observer board. So, Solar Guardian is why you would pick her, because it gives her a global presence in an incredibly effective way. She immediately gets into the fight. She immediately has access to supporting tools during the fight, because even while she's teleporting there, she still heals and deals some damage. Not a crazy amount, but a little bit. It's not too bad. And then finally, it gets her into the position she wants to be, which is right on top of the enemies, ideally, right? This is an incredible ability. This is absolutely incredible. Probably also the reason why her W is a little bit underwhelming. Celestial Hammer I don't think is that strong. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Again, I wouldn't necessarily recommend playing Dawnbreaker in the mid lane, but we're gonna be doing it here. Now, just as an aside, this is Turbo. Yes, we're playing Turbo. Because really, this video is about seeing how the hero behaves. Right? And by playing Turbo, we get to see her at all stages of the game. And also, then I don't have to play normal Dota, which is just really quite important to my mental health. Anyhow. You can see she's got a fairly good attack animation. She actually got great damage, great movement speed, decent armor. It's not amazing, but it's like solid enough. All around, a fairly well-statted hero. Her stat growth is also 3.4, 2.4, 2.2. That's just excellent. Right? That is not even just good, that is fantastic. Anyway, this right here is her Starbreaker. So you kind of saw it right there. As you saw, it is very, very useful. It doesn't use that much mana either, so we're definitely going to be just spamming that whenever we get an opportunity. Oh my, you know, let's get the Blades of Attack here. More Starbreaker. Now, something that's important about this ability, and you may have seen it right there, it uses kind of like an AoE target mechanic. So the way this ability would work in other games, most notably League, I'm just gonna say it, it's got a bit of a League feeling to it, this spell, right? But the way League would do it is usually that they would make you kind of enter into this like spinning animation state during which you can still move, so that you can kind of like redirect where it's going with your character. Dawnbreaker can't do that. You have to decide, you have to hard commit into a location, and that's the only place it can go. Which does make it feel a little bit clunky in my opinion. I kind of wish you could still redirect it while what's going on. I don't know. It's not really a matter of balance to me, it's just a matter of game feel, right? Because like you can see here, again, it just goes into that one specific location, and that's it. I can't change that location anymore. Let me go then max out Starbreaker. Oh, water. Can I have some water too? Oh, yes, thank you for water. I'll take some water. So in terms of items, we're gonna go ahead and grab ourselves face boots. I kind of want to try out Echo Saber. I've played a few games of her already, and Echo Saber just seems like something that would actually work pretty decently well for her. She kind of struggles a little bit with actually closing in on people, and also fixes some mana problems. She doesn't have crazy mana problems. She's kind of on the level of like a Sven in terms of mana problems. It's like, a bit more mana would be nice, but it's not like crazy important. So something like an Echo Saber goes pretty well with that. Anyhow, side note, buy Disasters. Here, this video is sponsored by Disasters. My wife says I need to make more videos sponsored by Disasters. So Disasters is a board game I made. It's 20 bucks, you can buy it, there's a link in the description. It's just a physical product. It's just like a little game. Like it has cards in it. It's just a little game. That's it. You can play it with your friends or family. Assuming you have friends. I'm not sure you guys play Dota. Wait, no, that's not good salesmanship. Don't insult the people you want to have buy your video game. It's not even a video game, it's a board game. I want to make another board game. I was actually gonna make another board game instead of another video game, but then Wispy was like, you gotta make another video game. I'm like, I want to make a board game now. And then here we are anyway. Anyway. Oh, hello. Let me go ahead and just kind of go back to spamming this bad boy. And, yeah. I mean, Luminosity is also nice because you can see it's just like a bit of healing every once in a while. And the bonus damage works out pretty well too. It's just kind of a nice ability. And here you go. So yeah, I can see you can crit with it. With the Dawnbreaker, which is super sick because then you get the like big AoE crit. Which works out well. Yes, more water. Water! Thank you. Oh, there's a situation up here. So this is our ultimate. And this is why our ultimate is good. This was pretty much a perfect situation for it. So you see, I saw there was a situation up in the top. Come in, immediate heal, immediate damage, stun, saves the day, and also takes down 2 heroes. It's just an incredible ability. Solar Guardian is actually kind of absurd. As I mentioned already, like Starbreaker and Luminosity is what you're gonna spend most of the time playing this hero doing, right? That's like what you're gonna be using most of the time. But you pick the hero for Solar Guardian. That ability is nuts. Alright. Let's come in here. Grab this. Thank you very much. And cool. Oh, I don't know if I did that in this recording. I've tried this recording this video here a few times already. But quick shout out to Well for making a cool female character. Just good job, guys. She's cool. Oh, can we get that? No, no hook. Ah, it's on cooldown. All right, coming in here. Get this big hit. Thank you very much. You know, I think it's important to acknowledge when, you know, something isn't quite good, I think. But also then when, you know, things get corrected and improved, then it's also important to acknowledge that. Alright, cool. Oh, there's a big spooky thing happening over there. I don't know if I can help. My stuff is on cooldown, which makes my life a bit difficult. Oh, no. Oh, that's brutal. Alright, let's go for it. No, it's not enough. Yeah, I was sort of hoping for the Lycan's ultimate to run out right there, but that just wasn't meant to be. I'm kind of trying to think of something. Like I had something I wanted to talk about. I can't think about it right now. Alright, don't worry about it. So we'll grab ourselves Echo Saber, as already said. Oh, by the way, again, in our situation for the ultimate, just comes in, healing, damage, and boom. Alright, just absolutely incredible. Such an insane ability. I think you can tell, right? I think you can tell how absolutely nuts this ability is. Oh, Wiggle. Oh, yes! Quick shout-outs to our Wiggle tournament, which we're doing on Saturday. Next Saturday, not this Saturday. Just letting you know. Quick reminder that that's happening. We've been playing it all day. Something I was curious about is if you guys want to like do best of 5s instead of best of 3s. But we'll talk about that some other time. Alright, quick little hit. And, well, that's gonna be a kill, yeah. I mean, not a big surprise there. So, in terms of items, well, at this stage, we just kind of want to get stuff that makes us, like, beefy and strong, right? So, we'll grab a BKB. I feel like that's, like, an ideal item for the hero. She's in the middle of fights anyway, and by virtue of being in the middle of fights, of course, you need to be able to survive that. And then on top of that, you know, it gives you a whole bunch of damage. Right, again, this is what I said in the beginning, where I feel like strength heroes, they have that luxury of being able to buy utility while also building damage. And this definitely applies to her as well. And it's especially useful here. She also can be played sort of similar to a Spectre. Now, I don't know if that's right. I'm not trying to tell you how to play her. I'm just trying to show you how you can play her, right? But you can kind of play her like a Spectre, which is what I've been doing, where I just spend a lot of time like sitting in a lane and controlling that and farming and trying to apply some tower pressure. And then I basically use the ultimate to jump into any fights where I can, right? And I put like a lot of emphasis on using the ultimate for that kind of mobility, but I don't really necessarily go and force this kind of stuff myself, right? So here I come again and then boom. Let's get out of here. I mean, like, do I even have to say it anymore? Right? Like, this ultimate is just crazy. Oh yes, people are asking about Aghanims. So this hero does not have an Aghanims and not an Aghanims shard. I don't know why Valve does that. It's like all new heroes they always release without Aghanims or Aghanims shard. My theory is that they do it because they're like, we don't really know how it's gonna play out and what's gonna feel right for the hero. And I'm like, okay, sure, I kind of get that, but just give her something. Like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy exciting. Right? I mean, how difficult is it to just give her an Aghanim shard that maybe makes this only take 2 attacks instead of 3? Would that be game-breaking? No. Would that be good? No. But at least it's something. I feel like it's better than having her not have one. I don't know. I would maybe do it a bit differently if I was them, but if I was them, I would be doing quite a few things a bit differently, so you guys kind of know that. Alright, trusty shovel. Cool, we can dig, dig, dig. Healing salve, I mean, it's something, I suppose. But yeah, I do find that a little bit weird that Valve takes so much time with adding these new shards and such. Okay, this is bad, so we'll go ahead and get ourselves out of there. You can see this is really not that great a mobility tool. It helps a little bit. It's really best used for these like quick little bursts of mobility, more so than like an actual big-ass mobility tool like a blink dagger or something like that, but yeah. You know, I got an Imp Claw, more damage. Oh, that's not so good. Nah, we're fine. It's a whole situation in the mid lane, which is a little bit spooky. Do have ultimate, though. We do have ultimate. Okay, they're going for the axe. I can support you. Axe, I can help. Go, 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 go in. Don't be afraid. Alright, I'm waiting, I'm waiting. Alright, coming in. We're going for the slog after all. That's who we are here for, right? Ooh, okay. Maybe not ideal. We'll throw out this, which will deal some damage. And that should be enough. Nice. Global presence, right? You're just never safe from this hero. You're never safe. So now we have our ultimate maxed out with the talent as well. It's only got 80 seconds cooldown. Grab this. Activate this right here. Is that ultimate global? Yes, it's global. Anywhere on the map. You can just... Anywhere there's a fight, you just jump in really quick. Fun fact, you can even use it on yourself. So, you don't even have to use it on another hero. You can just use it on yourself. Which is really strange to me. It feels like that probably shouldn't be possible, but, you know. I guess that way you can always use it. Always can like, get a little bit of value out of it. It is a channel though, so it can be interrupted. So got to be a bit careful with using it in the middle of a fight. Alright, now we got to think about what items to get next. It's actually a good question. This is honestly where I struggle a bit. What I have liked so far is Skull Basher. I think Skull Basher is nice. Because you actually get a lot of hits in with the Starbreaker. And so Skull Basher tends to work out pretty nicely there. Okay. And just kind of waiting here. Oh. Oh, I can't use my Q right now. That's true. So, this really is 4. So, for example, something you saw right there is I tried to use my Celestial Hammer and then Starbreaker. But if the hammer is gone, you can't use Starbreaker. You also can't use the ultimate while the hammer's out there. Which is just kind of, I think, supposed to push like the theme of the hammer being important more and more. I don't, by the way, when I say she's 4, I don't mean to like kind of discredit, you know, the character design or anything like that. I just think that that's clearly where the inspiration is coming from. Hey, me the chosen Jan. Thank you very much, dude. Well, glad to have you here today. Appreciate that. Alright, Slog is a little spooky. I gotta say, I'm a little terrified of that hero. Even though we're doing very well right now, it is important to remember that this is turbo and it can swing the other way very, very quickly. Alright, there's a whole situation here, so we're gonna use our ultimate. Right, and we're immediately in the fight. BKB. Swing in with our big ability there. And now that it has 2 charges, now it starts being really, really strong. Ultimate, nope. Swing, swing, swing. You see how useful this is? The Starbreaker? Just incredible. Cool, Basher. Oh, I would like this region if you don't mind. I'm running a little low. Bit of mana is definitely not a bad idea there. And... ooh, okay. Sick. So at level 20 we gain 2 Starbreaker charges. And I think you could tell in that last fight that makes it so we immediately have access to a whole bunch more, like a whole bunch more fighting power. Is Disruptor her biggest counter? I imagine Disruptor is probably a big problem, yeah. Because you want to come in and help and then you just get glimpsed back. That's probably a big issue for her. To be honest, this game is making her look very, very strong. I don't know if she's actually that good though, right? One of the biggest struggles with this hero is that Celestial Hammer is really just not that good in ability. And honestly, even Luminosity doesn't do that much. It's not bad, it just doesn't actually do that much. Which kind of limits its use a bit. And I feel like generally speaking, if you have a hero where, you know, like 2 of your abilities are just like a bit questionable, you know, it doesn't feel so good. However, Solar Guardian alone, like, oh man, that thing is insane. She's not good, she has less than 40% win rate. Well, I don't really think that's a good way of looking at it. You know, every time people talk about like an item or hero having a win rate, either that be high or low, I always like to point out that for a very, very long time, the item with the highest win rate in Dota was a walking courier. Now you might say, well, obviously, because back in the day you needed to buy a courier, so buying a courier would give you a higher win rate. No, what I mean with that is having a walking courier in your inventory. Not activating it, just having it in your inventory. Now you might be like, well, that doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't. You know why the statistics were wrong? Why that doesn't actually really help you win the game? Because what people used to do is they bought walking couriers when they were about to win. Filled up the inventory with it, which completely messed with the statistics. Hey, our Shia, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime. Or the AA talent that did literally nothing. Yes, for a long time, Ancient Apparition he had 2 talents, right? One of them was, I don't remember which they were, it doesn't really matter, right? But out of the 2, one of them had a significantly higher win rate than the other. And people would tell you to get that one. Get talent number 1. Do not get talent number 2. Talent number 2 is worse than talent number 1. Well, turns out talent number 1 was buggy and did literally nothing. It just didn't work. So, objectively speaking, talent number 2 was always better because it actually did something. So, are you saying that the stats are useless? I'm saying that you need to look at them through with a little bit of additional consideration. I don't think you can just look at the stats and say, she's got a low win rate, the hero's bad. No, it's day 1. People are bad. Alright? Especially with a hero like this, she's very, very teamfight orientated. If you're looking at the statistics, you're looking at the statistics from a lot of players that maybe aren't paying enough attention to the game to really spot these fights when they're happening and then support with their ultimate. Right? You might be looking at players that are trying to build, I don't know, Desolator and crits on her because they think this is a carry ability and this is a carry ability. Right? On top of that, I think her best role is probably being an offlaner, so she immediately has one of the hardest roles there. Now here's our ultimate. Get this. Oh, we're not dealing any damage to you right now. Good luck you two. Oh no, friends. Nice. Damn. But you see, like, I'm supporting the patch with some healing as well, which goes a long way. So now we can get Solar Guardian Radius. You know, it's got like the AoE effect when we plop down. It's like way bigger now. But yeah. Well, she's the first hero that isn't OP during launch since before Bristleback. The fact that she isn't OP during launch probably means she's actually very weak. No, I wouldn't necessarily say so. I mean, what was the last hero? Snapfire? Was she overpowered? I feel like when Snapfire got released, wasn't she kind of garbage? No, before that we had Hoodwink. Was Hoodwink overpowered? Wasn't she also kind of bad? I don't know. I feel like they've actually been pretty good about the balance of these. Sorry, I don't mean to be kind of like a naysayer, but there's just like a lot of things that people say every time a new hero gets released, right? Like, there's just a few things you will hear without fail. And like, I don't know, past a certain point, they just started annoying me a little because I'm like, guys, we've been here 50,000 times. Like, can we just stop? For example, one thing that, well, admittedly, this time around, I feel like it's a bit more appropriate. But something you always hear is that, this hero's a League hero. Dota's League now. Now, admittedly, with Dawnbreaker, I can kind of see the similarities. Although, she doesn't have the kind of gameplay smoothness that a lot of Dota League heroes have. So this may sound kind of bad, but a League puts a lot of emphasis on game feel. A League really tries to make sure that the heroes like feel super smooth when playing. Dota doesn't really care so much about that, and it kind of shows. Alright, I'm here. I regret being here. Ooh, that maiden got fucked up. Gotta get out of here. They got us. They got us. Finally. Whew, actually getting a bunch of kills. Oh, it's actually kind of bad. Keep in mind this is turbo. This can like, we might have just lost. We might have just lost. So, well, what are we getting? Abyssal Blade is probably not a bad idea. Just tanks us up a bit, you know? And also, you can, I think you have been able to see, hopefully, how the Starbreaker interacts really nicely with the Bash, right? It's just like, actually is super sick. Works out very well. But yeah, I do think that she does definitely have some similarities with League heroes. Although, I don't know, like, after having played her a bit more, Dota heroes have a tendency to be a bit clunky. And I think that is actually by design. Right? That is not me trying to somehow say that League's hero designs are superior. No, 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 I would never say that. Don't worry about it. But, Dota just kind of likes the heroes to feel a little bit more clunky, because by doing that, they kind of make it so that your player decisions matter more, right? While League lets you, or kind of like creates autopilot situations for the heroes a little bit. Oh my god, let's look at this ultimate. It's just so huge now. And by creating these autopilot situations, you know, like you have a specific sequence of buttons you're supposed to push, and that's exactly what you're supposed to do. But it also makes it so that, you know, they can make sure that this specific sequence of buttons feels really, really good. And it's kind of a little bit of the freedom of Dota versus the smoothness of League, which is... Okay, sorry. I have opened up a whole can of worms here, apologies. But this game is pretty much, oh my god, pretty much under control. I mean, it was fairly one-sided, but the important thing, and the thing I care about, and the thing I hope you guys care about as well, is that you got to see how the hero works. Right? And what she can do. And what's kind of neat about her. I quite like her. Honestly, out of the recent hero releases, she's the only one that's really resonated with me. I didn't really like Hoodwink, I didn't really like Snapfire. I don't even remember who came before her, but like Mars, I think Mars was a thing. Like I kind of dig Mars a little, but also not that much. You guys know I like strength heroes. I like the ones that can just run in and brawl a bunch. Void Spirit, I don't like Void Spirit. Like those are just not my types of heroes. Dawnbreaker, absolutely my type of hero. Like she goes in, she just wants to fight, she wants to brawl, she has some fun abilities to back up her team, but she can also fight on her own. All of which are things that I really appreciate. I do think it is very funny though. Just absolutely hilarious. That everybody was speculating about which anime character was gonna be the new thing. And it just ends up being like this like weird lady that nobody has ever heard of before. I find that so funny. You know, like other companies with other games, what they do is they like hype up their new characters and they like set up context for them and they get you interested in why they matter. And with Dota, Valve is just like, hey, do you want this weasel? And everybody's like, no. No, Valve, we don't want your weasel. And you're like, but have you considered this old lady on a dragon? And I'm like, okay, Valve, I'll take the old lady on a dragon, sure. Right, like whatever. But it's just, I don't know, it's just, I find that very funny. So anyhow, that's it. That about sums it up. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I have a video ready for tomorrow about the kind of like other changes in the game that should be coming then. But for today, that's it. So I hope you enjoyed it and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.